Alright, what's your awesome? Welcome to Gordon Guitar, Gracie Abrams. We know she did some songs now lately, and this one, Fault Line, is one of them. Great song here. We'll cover this and a couple more from Gracie Abrams for sure. So if you like her, please subscribe, and yeah, let's take it from there. Let's start this one up. We have the capo set here on the 3rd fret. And with that, we have 5 different chords we need to learn. So let's start in the same way like we usually do. Let's go over the chords. So we have the first one, the C. So that is 3rd on A, 2nd on D, open G, 1st B, and open E. We have the next chord here, the GB chord. And here you go from 2nd A, open D, open G, 3rd B, and even the open E. Try to avoid the open E for this specific song, for this GB chord, but yeah, that's the grip. All right, and then we have the standard G. So that is 3rd on E, 2nd on A, open D, open G, open B this time because we want this open, and 3rd E. Sometimes we go with 3rd B as well, this time open, because this note is emphasized in this song when it comes to strumming here. All right, anyway, let's go to the next chord here, the 4th chord here. So that will be a D, but with an F sharp in the bass. So the grip looks like this. You place the 2nd fret on E string there, and with that finger using, the index finger in this case, I usually mute the next string, which is the A here, so I get that muted. I just lean this finger on top of the A string, so it's muted like that, and then open D, 2nd G, 3rd B, and open E. And the final chord will be A minor, so that is open A, 2nd D, 2nd G, 1st B, and open E. Alright, so before we start this chord progression here in different parts, we'll look at the strumming pattern. C will be the first chord. So 1 round will be 3 downs with this rhythm. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that's the rhythm, and 1 round is again 3 downs. Alright, so with that, we're gonna look at the different parts now. Starting with the first verse, we have the chord progression here to start with. C1, then GB1, and G2. Okay, we'll go for that short chord progression for 2 rounds. So I mentioned it before when we went through the chords. On C here, you bring in the open E there, of course, but for the GB chord, try to emphasize the 3rd fret B string there, and that means when you downstroke, try to land on that string, the B string as the last string. So avoid the open E here. And then the same goes with the G chord. We will try to emphasize the open B string here. So try to avoid the last E string, but you have that with you anyway. If you just go down, it sounds better with original G than open, of course. So emphasize the B string here for the GB and the G chord. All right, so 2 rounds of that. Again, 1 second round. And then we're going further here in the first verse still, You're a Bad Holiday. So from there, you're gonna alternate C and GB. So you go that for 3 rounds, and then you end on G2. So C, CB, 1 strumming round per chord for 3 rounds, and then you end with the G2 rounds. So like this, C. C, So to summarize this one, C, G, B, and G. You're gonna play that for 2 rounds, and then you're gonna alternate C, G, B for 3 rounds, and then you end on G. Okay, so that is how you play the first verse. And yeah, let's go on to the chorus. I know your fault line, so that's where you're on the lyrics. So you're gonna start in the same way here, C, 1 string around, G1 and G2. You're gonna play that for 2 rounds again. Okay, so and then we are in the lyrics, and when I'm down, I fall back into you. So you're gonna play C1, GB1, G1, and then the DF1. Okay, so C, GB, G, and DF. And then you play C, GB1, and G2. Just the ending part here, but I'll break 2, and that will be the chord progression A minor 1, C1, and G2, and you play that for another round, A minor 1, C1, and G2. So So to summarize the chords now, we played C1, GB1, and G2 for 2 rounds. And then we played C1, GB1, G1, and the DF1. And then again, C1, GB1, and G2. And then we played A minor 1, C1, G2, and we repeated that. A minor 1, C1, and G2. So that is the chorus, and that is the chorus I played in the introduction of this tutorial. All right, so pretty much the rest here will be repetition. Second verse played in the same way as the first one, and the same goes with the second chorus played in the same way as the chorus we just looked at. Then we will play the bridge part after the second chorus, and that is in the lyrics, all my imaginary friends are scared of you. Okay, so here we're gonna play the A minor 1, the C1, the GB1, and the DF1. Okay? So you're gonna play that part for 3 rounds. So A minor 1, C1, GB1, and DF1. 3 rounds of that. And then you end with A minor 1, C1, and G2. Okay? So let's go through the bridge part here. Takes us to the final chorus, the third one. It's played in the same way as the previous choruses, but it's an extended version here. So it's an A minor ending, and it will be with 4 rounds. Okay, so 4 rounds of this chorus. So that is how this song Fault Line by GRACIE Abrams ends. Yeah, so that pretty much covers it, and I hope that was helpful. If it was, please let me know, leave a comment. Feel free to write something nice there, or if I can do anything better. I read everything, and yeah, see you next time, guys. Play tuned.